Hello my dear friends, in this video I want to show you how to do this really simple technique with your own hands. Let's see the process. I'm really happy today because this is a new and really simple technique, and we are going to use a silicone mat, and I will put the shiny part above or see into the sky, and then I will prepare my resin. And the first part is really simple. You just have to do the shape that you want, but there's some technical rules that you have to follow, and it's to not spread over the mat. I mean, you don't have to push so much the resin. You have to put some thickness on the piece, and it's important to leave a really smooth edge. And I already prepared my colors here, and just simply like that you have to put some resin in the mat, and it doesn't matter the form that you choose, but for me it's easier in circles, and these circles has different shades of white and green and brown. So here's the thing with this technique. It's really simple, but you need to synchronize yourself with the universe, because you need to know where is exactly the time that when you can start to use the resin, because you have different resin than I have, and the curing time is different, the weather is different, and all these factors really affect the result. So I will give you the main tips for doing this really well. In this case, I am using a 4 hours curing resin. So I'm waiting 1.5 or 2 hours to do this. But if you have 8 hours curing resin or 24 hours curing resin, you need to adapt your time. So when it's ready, when you start to touch the resin and it doesn't stick into your fingers or your gloves. In this case, I wait maybe 1.5 hours, and the resin is still too blendy, or I don't know how to call this, but it's really like a bubble gum, and it's a little bit hard to work with this. And the main problem with this is that you don't have enough volume in your piece, so this is something to take care about. So here's the thing, you just take a little piece of resin and start to shape with your hands, and then put in the base gently. You shouldn't push too much because you will lose all the wavy effect that we are searching. The trick here is that you have fun, because you are make everything happen, because you are doing something from zero. This is a really artisan or handmade job. You are sculpting a resin, you are doing something out of nothing. So enjoy the process, because this is totally you. And I have to be honest, I made so much trials, because find the timing was an issue at first, because you need to understand when the resin is really in time to start to work with it. So you just have to practice and understand the weather and your resin, and that's it. And please leave a comment. Tell me what do you think about this technique that is really simple to do, and if this is helpful for you, please leave a comment. In this part of the process, you have to put so much attention in the border, because if you do a good job in here, you don't have to do anything else later, sand or drill or something like that. If you do the job in here with your fingers, this will be a really nice edge. So you can see here how bubble gummy is this resin, and you can cut with your scissors to help you to have little tiny uh, pieces, and there is nothing more than this. Is it really easy or not? So let me show you with what happens if you wait a little bit more, because when you wait the proper time, you have a different effect. It's more volume, and let's see. But first, let me show you that this was another trial that I made, but I wait too much and it was so hard to put the resin, then it start to break. So you have to be careful with that. This is the same. I prepare my resin, I put a base with clear resin, and I prepare my colors. I'm trying to do an ombre effect or gradient effect in pink. So I did 4 different shades of color, and I will put them in order, because when you put resin in matte, change the color a little bit and it's hard to guess what was the right one. And this time I wait 2 hours and I start to touch the resin to see if this is a little bit more, stronger than the other project. And you still can shape with your fingers the base, and I start to work with my first circle. And yes, I feel it's a little bit more strong or hard to, it's not like bubble gum now. So that's when I understand that it's ready to use. So now we are trying to do the ombre or gradient effect with the pink color, and we start to do the same, but the resin won't flat this time that much. So they are different effects, but at the end you will see the difference. And one of the things is that I didn't do enough color in the pink in the middle color, because there are 4 colors, but I didn't do enough circles. So this might affect your work and your main idea. So be careful when you do your circles. Check that this is enough for your project, because if the resin dries, you will have to paste with more resin. And you can of course do 2 layers, but it's for me it's okay with 1 layer. When I finished this piece, my little daughter told me something about this that I will tell you just at the end of the video, because if I told you now the way that she saw this piece, and you say I saw that too, I will cry. So let me tell you later what she saw. Be careful again with the edge and the colors, and that's it. We have to let this cure maybe 12 hours for me, and that's it. So here's the difference. You see I wait maybe 1 hour and a half to do this piece, and the resin doesn't look bad, but doesn't have enough volume. Still, it's a really interesting effect. But that's it. I will put this behind, because I don't want to do holes, and I will paste this with UV resin, and I will put another layer, but this is really strong. We don't need that layer, but I just want to reinforce the piece. And I didn't do nothing to the edge, and looks clear and clean. So if you work in time, the edge, you don't have to do nothing. But here's the difference. You see the volume in one piece and in the other one. So this is really different. The time when you start to use the resin will totally do the job. And this is another one that I made with the same technique. And here we have the 3 tries. This one I weigh too much and the resin start to break and it's not a strong piece. So this is what my little daughter says. Oh mom, look, now you're doing large intestine. Oh my gosh, I was like, what? She saw visors and I saw a necklace. What do you see? Please leave a comment. Thank you for everything. See you the next time. Bye bye.